Hello YouTube family, I'm Ashley and we're going to do a plant tour update video today. I'm going to take you around to some of my indoor and my outdoor plants. I've done a plant tour previously on my channel and I'd like to take you around and show you how they're doing. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment below. Disclaimer, I am not a professional plant person. I'm definitely not an expert. The indoor plants are something that I've just kind of made a foray into, succulents and houseplants and stuff like that. So if you want to see my experience with the beginning of those, go to the first plant tour video. If you want to just see the update and see what I got going on outside and inside, stay tuned. Here is the golden pothos that I snipped and planted in here. I'm not sure how well these have rooted, but they're not quite yellow. This leaf probably needs to come off, but seems to be doing good so far. I'm just trying to keep this well watered so that it sprouts some legs on it. So you can actually plant these little clippings in just water, a glass of water, and they will sprout roots. Up here we have another, the light colored succulent there is another Graptosetum. So it just has a different growing habit. It's a little bit smaller. These are not doing so well. This is, I believe this is a variety of jade. And I don't know if you can see, but it is not doing the best. I have tried to water this sparingly. I don't think this planter is quite right for this, so I may snip this off and do something different with it. So maybe in my next update video, that will be slightly different. I also went ahead and got the larger one to match that one, which I really love that. I think I'm gonna put a spider plant in this one. I haven't found the right plant for that yet. And instead of just throwing something random into it, I figured I'd wait and wait for the right plant for that home. This is Graptosetum. So this is the same plant that is in that hanging basket in the kitchen, or the hanging planter that is in the kitchen. And then we have a big pretty jade here. And this is called an elephant bush. So I had an issue with the leaves dropping off of this one. It seems to be doing okay here now. It is kind of tender and it is a little finicky. So it does not seem to be like to be moved around a lot. Now this here is that jade that's not doing so well in that hanging planter with the Graptosetum that is in the other room. So it may just need more light and it's just not getting enough light in that other room. So I actually may take that jade out of that planter and put it in something and actually put it on this shelf here. Next shelf down, we've got this paddle plant here. That one's still doing well. It's got a new little tiny leaves in there, little paddle leaves. And then this, I did not know what this was called the last time. This is actually a variety of Gasteria here. So I have another one of those. It's a couple of shelves down. We'll get to that when we get to it. This here is a lace aloe. I really love the lace aloe. It's really interesting, really neat, and it's spread out a little bit as kind of time has gone on in this pot. And then this plant here, I found out what this was by that app that I was talking about, the Picture This app. And this is a deltoid leaved dew plant. I absolutely love this plant. It is like almost right in the middle of my shelf because I think it is just like a showstopper succulent. I think it is so neat and so unusual. Some of these are just really, really cool. I actually saw some at a friend's house today, some new plants, some new succulents that I would love to get. Okay, so next shelf down. This one was kind of droopy last time, and this little guy is starting to really perk up in here. He's doing really good. This is a topsy-turvy, and I believe this is also a stone crop variety, like some of the other ones, the purple one that I have in the other room, and the urinal planter. I keep calling that because that's the only thing I can think of to describe it. And then I got this little itty-bitty egg planter, and it has an elephant bush in it that was just a single stem. This was a single stem in a mixed succulent planter, and the rest of the succulent planter was not doing very well. So I took this one out to try to save it, and it seems to be liking this little pot quite well. And then we have this other succulent. This is called a chocolate soldier, and the chocolate soldier is beautiful. I think it also has a bunch of other names. The app is kind of neat because it also will give you all of the like common names and what all the different plants are kind of known by in a bunch of different circles, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. We have another gasteria. I showed this one last time. It seems to be doing pretty well in here. As you see, he lost an arm. He's lost a couple of other leaves from the bottom, but seems to be doing pretty well in this spot. One thing that I do notice about this is for some reason, spiders love to spin webs on here, which is quite interesting. And then my aloe is doing really great. I can't tell if it's grown bigger. I feel like it's grown bigger. It's quite large. And then here we have here on the bottom shelf, this is a variegatum tree house leek here. So I just thought this one had really pretty color. I really enjoy adding some succulents and some things that have varying colors on them, different interesting growth habits, just things that are different. So I've really enjoyed making this shelf. I am so glad that I had, you know, some little odds and ends to put on it. There's some candles on there. There's some empty bottles on there. I've put cut flowers in those empty bottles there a couple of times. Just a single bloom really brightens that shelf up a lot, and I've really enjoyed it over time. Since we last met, there's been some developments in here. We've finally put up some curtains with some curtain rods and some trim, and we're going to take a look at some of the plants that we talked about last time we did a plant tour. So I found out what this is. This is a kalanchoe. It is a species of widow's thrill. This guy's still doing really great. This was one of Grandma's plants. We've got a lot of nice new bushy growth in here, and I cleaned up this shelf. Also, some of the plants that were here are no longer there. We also have this beauty that got planted in the urinal planter. And this is a tree ionium. This is a species of stone crop. So kind of like the chicks and hens that are out in the yard and in the strawberry pot. So those guys are living right in there right now, and they seem to be pretty happy so far. Same thing goes for this window. We've gotten some new window treatments to match the other ones in the house. Here we go. Here's the golden pothos. It is doing so well in this spot. I don't know what it is about this spot or if I just got the watering just right, but it has grown so much since the last time I took a video of it, so much so that I snipped a piece off of that and started in another pot. I'll show you that in a minute. And then this here had a long, when we last met, this was in a pot from Miller's greenhouse, and it had a long stem coming off of it that had been flowering, and that flower has since dried up and is now gone. But I kind of rescued this by putting it in this pot. It was in the hanging urinal and it wasn't doing very well, so I put him in here. This is a Graptocedum Francisco Baldi. So this guy is pretty neat, and he has since, or she, or it, has since sprouted these little babies here. So it seems to be doing well in this pot. I would like to put this in a different pot. He's just kind of unstable and leaning to the side a little bit, so I'm not quite ready to move him. This little Norfolk Island Pine, Star Pine, Living Christmas Tree is still doing quite well. He gets a little dry in spots, so, but yeah, he's still alive, so that's good. So this big beauty here, the Dragon Wing Begonia, I featured on, I believe, the first plant tour. It has grown so much. It's doing amazing. It's huge and I love it. And so, yes, Dragon Wing Begonia. And then I have these smaller ones down here. There was a third one in here that is a yellow non-stop begonia. And he didn't do so well. It looks like he is coming back from the depths of despair. These other ones are doing quite well. They've been deadheaded a whole bunch of times. Like, oh, that one not doing so good. So, but otherwise, those are doing good. I've got this little guy here. This was a present from my best friend for my brother's birthday. And then the Lophos hanging basket rose is still doing, the Lophos rose is still doing very well. And in all of its glory, it's doing a good job. Sorry about the lighting here. It's a little dark back here. So I got both of my raised beds done here. In here we have some African daisies. My mother gave these to me. She started these from seed in her greenhouse. And then we also have some starfish peppers. These peppers have just been planted in here just a couple of days ago. They need to be watered. They sat in the sun all day. Then I also have some hot banana peppers, some jalapeno peppers, and of course my beautiful living basil plant. I believe I showed the living basil plant on my grocery haul video. So if you want to see a grocery haul, go to the grocery haul video. I have my pots and stuff down there and some potting mix for my succulents. And then over here in this raised planter bed, I've got some sedum. This was a, I think 1 foot by 2 foot tray that I purchased at Home Depot. It's pretty neat. These were all the way down here. They had not grown up and got little flowers on them. This is actually spread quite a bit in here. And then this is another one of the starfish peppers from my mom. I can't wait to see what those turn out like. But I got some jalapenos, some red bell peppers, and some gypsy sweet peppers. So we've got that going on there in the 2 raised beds. Now we're up here to some of the hanging baskets that came from inside. So this one is the fuzzy kitten or the furry kitten that overwintered in the house. And he had some tendrils that came down off of him that flowered. So I was pretty excited about that. This plant did not have any flowers on it while in the house, and it did not flower last year. So it's doing quite well here, and I like that it's got kind of this trailing kind of habit that's coming off of it. And then we have the fuchsia. So I showed the fuchsia in my last video for the plants, and there's been a development in the fuchsia. It's dropping its flowers because I've been trying not to disturb it because of these little guys here. So 2 birds came and built a nest at the beginning of the spring season, and they've been nesting in this plant. So I've been watering it sparingly so they don't get the nest damp. And the birds, they are taking very good care of their babies. I think there may be 3 of them in there. They had 5 eggs. They were a light color, green, and they were really pretty. And so I've been trying to let the birds take care of their babies, and then the fuzzy kitten, and then we've got the Lophos rose. Now that I've covered a couple of the hanging baskets and the plants that are on the porch and the raised beds, I'm going to take you to the garden around outside the house. So I have some flower beds and some vegetables planted, and I'm going to show you those next. So here we have the flower bed in the back. We've got some tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. Here are some of the chicks and hens from the front flower bed, some more of the sedum, some more tomatoes. I also received some California poppies from my mom. I've got 3 of those. I think those are going to be either red or orange. They have just been transplanted, so they're kind of a little sad little week right now. But I also have some bunny grass there and some more sedum. We've got some bigger tomatoes, some like beefsteak tomatoes, some more sedum. This is a transplant of a columbine from my front flower bed. I had those for years and years. They were very large and they kind of died back one year, and now I'm trying to save them. Some more sedum. Nice big tomato plant. This guy that I featured on my last plant tour video, and he was looking very, very sad inside. He seems to be doing a little bit better in this spot, so I'm going to keep him here for a little while. And then I have some red poppies here. So these were given to me by my mom as well. They have just been transplanted, so we'll check in maybe a little later and see how those are doing. So this is the back bed. This had so much grass and weeds in it, and I cleaned it out about 2 weeks ago. And so this is what kind of the back looks like. There's the porch, some vegetables in the raised beds, some vegetables in the garden, some flowers in the garden, some ground cover in the garden. And then here is my beautiful peony. This was transplanted from a neighbor, just a couple of small plants. This was the first year that it bloomed. It's on its way out now. This was the first year that it bloomed, so I am very, very happy and proud of that plant. I always wanted peonies, and I'm really excited about it that it's got some blooms on it this year. Here we are around the side of the house, and I have my ferns out here. They are enormous. I have transplanted some to other people. We have cut them back. They are now growing in the yard out of the flower bed. And then my beautiful, very large bleeding hearts bush. This was here when I moved here, and it has been absolutely thriving in this spot for the last 11 years that I've been here. So it is on its way out just like the peony, but it gets these very pretty standard pink bleeding hearts. I absolutely love this bush. It does so well every year. These here are some daylilies. They are orange. And then my husband and I actually cleaned a mass. The road noise is ridiculous. My husband and I actually cleaned a mass of ivy and just weeds and all kinds of disgusting stuff out of here. Too much. So I have some standard hostas here, some more daylilies here. This is my hydrangea bush. It's coming back. It looks really, really great. I cut a bunch of the canes out of it today, the old canes. So we also have daffodils on the way out. We have some beautiful, my Asiatic lilies. They're kind of different heights every year. They probably need to be fertilized. And then here's one of my pride and joy flowers that I love so much. These are my lupines. I have a kind of purplish pink. Those are all Mariposa lilies and double daffodils. And then this one is my other lupine, my purple lupine. These guys have been moved around a few times, split, and the plants have been split up and given to other people. And then this is called Sea Thrift, I believe. So this is like a kind of ground cover plant. I really like that. That has been there for, the Sea Thrift is I probably transplanted that into here, I would say, maybe the year I moved in here. This Sea Thrift has been here the year that I moved in here, so it's been here about almost 11 years. And then I have some more red Asiatic lilies, some yellow Asiatic lilies, and here you go. We got a tractor coming down the road, and he's going to slow down traffic so it won't be so loud. And then these are not blooming yet, but these are my actual pride and joy of my garden. So these are not Asiatic lilies, these are stargazer lilies. I actually just weeded this bed today. So much stuff came out of here. I am prepping it for about a 4-inch layer of mulch. So I'm gonna go get some mulch this next week while I'm on vacation. I'm gonna mulch it. And then I've got a couple of new plants for this bed. This is a gazania. I have 2 of these. These were also seeds started by my mom. And then I have some white echinacea there and some purple echinacea or purple coneflower there. I also have 1 single tulip leaf holding on back there, so I'm not gonna cut it down. Let's see here. We've also got these are bearded irises. They are all white. They are beautiful. Some hostas hiding back there. Some more daylilies. Some more hostas. There we go, got some stone crop, my chicks and hens. And then this, I can't remember the name of this. I'll put it in the description box because I actually looked this up. This is a small bulb that is actually part of the onion family. So I did not know that when I planted this. I actually got this from a fundraiser catalog from my kids' school, like when they were in like the 3rd grade. So that's been there for a long time. Then I also have my big, beautiful plantain hostas. So they're a little bit different than the other hostas. They're right up here, up front. They, you know, kind of fill in this huge gap. So, and then we've got Monster Bush 1 and Monster Bush 2. Japanese maple. And these are azaleas that are on their way out. So that's the conclusion of the plant tour, the outside plants, the inside plants. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. If I got something wrong, if you have another name for one of these plants, or if you just want to say hey, drop me a comment below and I will respond to it. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching my video. See you next time.